Hello. So as people are getting logged on, please type in the chat. Let me know that you are here. Let me update this really quick if for any reason. Luna, come here. Luna's gonna hang out with us. Oh, Leanne, I'm so glad you're here. Luna says hi. She's been extra sleepy because she went on a really long hike today. She's getting strong. So go ahead, type in if you have any physical requests for practice today. And then grab anything you need to help yourself feel supported here. So you might want to have a pillow or a blanket. If you have a bolster or any blocks, go ahead and grab those. And type in if you have any physical requests for practice today. Come here, Luna. It's almost her DINNER time. All right, so I see a couple more people jumping on. Keep on jumping on. Say hey, type in. Grab any props that you might need. And then find your way to your back. We're gonna start lying down on our backs today with the soles of the feet on the floor and our knees bent and pointing upright. And I'm actually gonna turn this way. I wanna make sure, hey Bree, I'm so happy you're here. I know we have Preston and Demetrius and Anna logging on as well, and Alyssa. So if you are here, type it in just so I know we got our roll call. Yay, Ingrid, you're here as well. And then just meet lying down on your back with the soles of the feet on the floor, the knees pointing upright. Yay, Preston. And grab any blocks, any pillows, any blankets, any additional supports that you might like. Drop in the chat if you have any physical requests for practice, and then just settle in. So let's just start to shift away from all the things that were happening this weekend, away from whatever is to come, and settle in right here, right now. So just notice where you are in the room. Luna had to leave because she needed to be fed. And then gently rest your eyes. And feel where your body meets the earth. Feel the earth lifting you up. And allow the body to be held here. Allow the earth to support you. Allow yourself to receive that support. Inhale. And exhale. Now draw your awareness to where in the body you feel the breath as it moves in and as it moves out. Just taking a moment to get familiar with what the breath feels like. Noticing the details of the inhalation. Noticing the details of the exhalation. Allowing it to flow through. You can leave your hands wherever they're already resting, or if it feels supportive for you, you can bring one hand to the belly and one hand to the chest. And we're gonna invite some breath control here. And if it feels like too much at any point, honor that and return to the rhythm of your natural breath anytime you need. And if you would like to join in, you can join in at any time. And we're gonna focus on just making our exhales a little bit longer. So we're gonna inhale for 3 counts and exhale for 6 counts. And this is going to help to activate our parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and digest, the tend and befriend part of the body. So just inviting in that calm to our body and our minds through the breath. So we'll take a cleansing breath to begin, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then inhale for 1, 2, 3. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale 1, 2, 3. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again. Inhale 1, 2, 3. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Continue to breathe in this way. And at any point you can continue on with this breath, or you can return to the rhythm of your natural breath. And as you focus on breathing, I'm going to tell you a little story. And in so many ways, this is the story I needed today. Before class, I was just feeling tense and frustrated and confused and all of the human things. And I opened up the Yoga Sutras, my book on the Yoga Sutras, just to like a completely random page. And it brought me to this story. So we're gonna have a little story time. So if you're still doing that extended breath, now just return and surrender to your natural breath. So this is the story of Narada. There's a tale, or maybe not so much a tale, but there's a story of Narada is walking up an anthill, and Narada is going to heaven. And as Narada passes by, he sees someone digging at their hill and doing their work, and they say, "Oh, Narada, where are you going? Are you going to heaven?" And he says, "Yes." And they say, "Would you do me a favor? Would you ask, how many lives do I have left until I reach that bliss state, until I can go to the divine as well?" And Narada says, "Okay, like I'll help you, I'll ask that question," and continues on their way. And then Narada passes another person, and this person also asks Narada, "Hey Narada, when you're in heaven, will you find out how many lives I have left?" And this person is doing their work, and Narada says yes. And then Narada comes back and they pass by the first person, or the second person they passed. And they say, "Narada, what news do you have? How many more lives do I have to do this work until I can reach that bliss?" And Narada says, "They told me four more times on this earth, 4 more lives on this earth." And the person gets so mad and so frustrated. "I've done all this work. How can I have to do more? 4 more lives, it's so long," and is in a fury and full of anger and frustration. And Narada continues on their way. And they pass by the first person they met at the anthill, sitting there doing their work. And the person says, "Narada, what was my answer? How much longer, how many more lives do I have here?" And Narada says, "Look up at the tree." They say, "Okay. Count all of the leaves on that tree. That's how many you have left." And the person jumps up and down with glee and excitement. "Oh, only as many left as on this tree? It could have been as many as that are in the whole forest. This is amazing." And then instantly that person gets beamed up into the heavens. Because they were patient, they were willing, and they were devoted to doing the work. So that brings us to Yoga Sutra 1.14. And this is the one I think that I will always need to be reminded of. And it says, I'm going to pull it in front of me so I don't butcher it, that practice becomes firmly grounded when well attended to for a long time without break and with full attention and full faith. So I'm going to read that one more time. Practice becomes firmly grounded when well attended to for a long time without a break and with full attention and full faith. Inhale and exhale. So I invite you now to take a moment to notice if there's some area of life where maybe you haven't been getting the results you hoped yet. Maybe some frustration you've been feeling with a skill you've been working on, or a relationship or an exercise or something in your life, or maybe even your meditation and your yoga practices. These are hard. These require a lot. And repeat that in your head. A long time without a break, with full attention and full faith. So as we move on the mat today, I ask you to turn into that thing with a full heart, with an open heart and an open mind, not giving up. Tapping into patience, devotion, and faith as we move through these hard things. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, curl your knees into your chest, bring your hands to your kneecaps, and take a few moments to use the hands to navigate the knees and move them around in all kinds of directions. This is a great way to start to get into our SI joints, get some motion, some lotion in there. Move it in one direction, and then the other direction. And then bring your arms to cushions parallel to the sky. And let your low back get really heavy here. Feel your core engage as the low back is almost like glued to the earth beneath you. And then you can slowly straighten your legs to the sky. Your legs might not be ready to be all the way straight yet. That's normal. And then you can pedal the feet back and forth. Maybe move the feet in circles in one direction. And then maybe in the other direction. And then keep that core engaged, and slowly, as slow as you can, lower your right leg towards the mat. Keep that left leg straight up towards the sky. And then when that right foot is just hovering above the earth, breathe in and breathe out. And then bring the right leg to slowly meet the left. And then we're gonna switch it. Once the right foot reaches towards the sky, slowly lower the left leg to meet the right. When it gets just above the earth, when you feel that shaky place, don't give up. Breathe in, breathe out. And then bring both legs back towards the sky, meeting all of these shaky moments today with faith, with devotion. Inhale, both feet towards one another. Low back glued to the mat, and exhale as slowly as you can. Lower your heels towards the earth. This is a practice. It's not easy. It requires consistency, faith, and dedication. When you get to that shaky place, breathe in. Breathe out. One more inhale. And then exhale, curl your knees into your chest. Luna's rolling around with us. Bring your hands to your kneecaps. And wiggle it around. Now bring your arms to a cactus T when you're ready. Engage your core. Feel your low back glued onto the mat. Inhale here. And then exhale, drop both knees to the right side and gaze over your left shoulder. So I really want you to think about softening the left shoulder here, opening up the chest. If it feels all right for you, you can bring your left hand to the top of your right knee, gently pulling it down. And breathe. We're gonna take 10 big breaths. And just notice whatever's here for you. And rather than resisting it, show up for it. Breathe with it. Luna's stomach is going crazy. When you're ready, inhale, bring your knees back to center. Engage the core, feel the low back root down on the mat. And then exhale, drop both knees to the right side and gaze over the left shoulder. The right hand can gently weigh down that left knee if that's a support. Think about that left shoulder softening and relaxing. 10 big breaths here. Inhale, bring it back to center. Bring the hands to the knees and then wiggle it around. And now wrap your arms around your legs. Curl your chin in towards your chest. Squeeze yourself tight. Give yourself a really big hug. Maybe rock and roll side to side. Maybe in circles, massaging that low back a little. Squeeze as tight as you can. And then exhale, release. Bring the limbs back to the mat. Maybe windshield wiper the knees from side to side. We're gonna do that one more time, just practicing tensing and releasing physically. So when you're ready, curl the knees into the chest, bring your hands to your kneecaps. And then wrap the arms around the legs, curl the chin in towards the chest, squeeze tight, tight as you can. Give yourself all that love, squeeze tight. And then exhale, release. Gently windshield wiper from side to side. And then slowly find your way to a seat as you're ready. So you can push up to the fetal position and then towards a seat. You can rock and roll to a seat. And for this seat, I don't want you to be cross-legged just yet. I want you to sit with the soles of the feet on the floor, the knees bent and pointing upright, and then bring the hands to ground down behind the back. So take your time to get there. Take any little adjustments or hair ties that you need. And then root with the hands on the mat. Feel your hands push into the earth, lifting the chest up. The sits bones are rooting down on the mat and the head reaches towards the sky. So the spine is nice and long here. Think about engaging your core, bringing your belly button towards your navel. That'll help really activate the core, give you some additional support. And think about the shoulder blades drawing towards one another behind the back. Inhale here. And then exhale, drop both knees to the left side and gaze over your right shoulder. Take 10 breaths. So we're getting some good internal and external rotation in the hips here. And then as you're ready, inhale, bring it back to center. And exhale, drop both knees to the right side as you gaze over your left shoulder. Again, the sits bones remain grounded, the spine remains long. 10 breaths. So there's some similarities here to what we were doing on the floor earlier. There's some extra juiciness with the sensation in the hips. And then inhale, bring it back to center. And walk your hands in towards your knees. And then let the knees fall out to the side and the soles of the feet come towards one another. So we're coming to a butterfly pose. Take a moment here to massage your feet. I think tending to our feet is like just one of the most luxurious gifts we can give ourselves. And probably one of the most important ones. I'm feeling a knot there. Our feet carry us all around. So this is a great opportunity to give thanks for the ways your feet show up for you time and time again. And then bring your hands to your ankles. Feel the sits bones rooting down, the head reaching towards the sky. This may be more than enough. You can stay here. Or you can start to open up the soles of the feet, scrape the forearms along the rib cage, and bow forward, relaxing the head, relaxing the neck. Sits bones remain grounded, finding the breath. So we're not trying to go too far here. We're still just slowly waking up, opening up. Showing up. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, lift your torso up and then bring your knees together. Now I want you to widen your legs out to a V. So it doesn't have to be like an Olympic world's largest V. It can be as wide or as narrow as your body is ready for in this present moment. Bring the fingertips to the earth. Feel your sits bones rooting down, your head reaching towards the sky, and soften your shoulders down the back. The feet are engaged. The thighs are engaged. The core is engaged. So consciously here thinking about bringing the belly button towards our spine. I'm gonna cue that a lot more lately. Some PT I'm working on. Super helpful. So my hips are speaking to me here. Yours might be too. You can stay right here. Or if it feels supportive for you, you can start to walk the right hand down the right leg, reach the left arm up and over as you lean to the right side. If you choose to lean to the right, really focus on keeping that left side of the seat rooted on the mat. So that'll help bring some extra length along the left side body. Think about stacking the left shoulder over the right, relaxing the head, relaxing the neck. Also, you can bring the right arm on the inside of the right leg, giving yourself a little more space if that feels supportive for you. And then take 10 big breaths. Showing up for all of this. And with full faith, what is it that arriving here today you hoped to receive? Like, why did you show up on the mat? Why do you continue to show up week after week? Knowing that it's not going to arrive instantaneously. But we keep believing and putting in the work. We keep showing up, trusting the seeds to sow. Inhale, bring it back to center as you're ready. Exhale, soften your shoulders down the back. Breathe, ooh, big breath in. Tangled up my words. Exhale, big breath out. And if you lean to the right side, I now invite you to lean it to the left so you can walk the left hand down the left leg. Keep that right sits bone rooted on the earth. The right arm reaches over to the left side. Think about stacking the right shoulder over the left, the right sits bone remaining heavy. Left hand can come inside of the left leg. Relax the head. Relax the neck. And breathe. Showing up again and again. Patience, faith, and devotion. Inhale, bring it back up to center. Bring your shoulders towards your ears. Exhale, soften them down the back. One more big breath in through the nose. And exhale out the mouth, let it go. Now you can bring your hands under your knees and use your hands to give your knees a little lift and bring your knees together. And find your way towards a tabletop position, however your body feels ready for you to get there today. So you can slowly find your way to hands and knees. You can rock and roll on over to hands and knees. And then bring the hands under the shoulders. Bring your knees under your hips. Feel the fingers root down into the earth. Push into the knuckles and the fingers. Inhale, drop your belly, curl your toes under, gaze towards the sky. Feel the shoulder blades reaching towards one another behind the back. And then exhale, point your toes, arch your spine, gaze in towards your navel. Feel the hands pushing into the earth. Inhale, bring it back towards neutral. And then a couple options here. You can stay in a tabletop if that feels best for you. You can send it back to a child's pose. Or you can find your way to a downward facing dog. And we're gonna hang out in wherever you want to be for about 10 breaths. So it might be a little bit long to be in a down dog, but your body might be craving that stretch. You might want to be in your child's pose or some other restful position. Inhale. And exhale. For my friends in down dog, you can pedal out the feet, wiggle the hips, take any little micro movements your body would like. Listening here, my friends in child's pose or any other restful position, I invite you to do the same. What could you do to feel 5 to 10% more comfortable here? And then find your way to a downward facing dog or a tabletop position. And gently step the right foot back behind you. Now inhale, drag the right toes along the midline of the mat and bring the right foot between the hands. You might take a little bit of a pull behind that right ankle to get it there. And if the left knee is lifted, please lower onto the left knee and uncurl your back toes. Feel the feet push into the mat. So the top of the left foot, the left pinky toes rooting into the mat. All 5 toes on the right foot are pushing into the earth. You can slowly start to come up onto your fingertips, lift the torso up. Maybe bring your hands to your thigh. Feet root down, thighs rotate inwards, belly button draws in towards the spine, shoulders soften down the back. Breathe in and breathe out. 4 more breaths here. And then slowly bring the hands back to the earth. Now I want you to ground down through the left palm and inhale, reach your right arm up towards the sky. Think about stacking the right shoulder over the left. You can relax the gaze to the earth, feet root down, and think about twisting from the core as you gaze up towards the sky. The hand might want to remain raised, or you might want to bring the right hand to the top of the right thigh as you gaze over that right shoulder. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Slowly bring your gaze back to the floor and bring the right hand outside of the right foot. Now I want you to heel toe your right foot towards the outer right edge of the mat. The hands are both inside of the right leg. Feel your hands pushing down into the mat. We're working on our lizard pose here. The back foot is engaged, the right foot is engaged, the core is engaged, the thighs remain engaged. You can stay here, this is a lot, or you can slowly walk the hands out in front of you. That might be more than enough. If it's available, you can lower down onto the forearms, keeping the engagement at the base. So keeping the feet, the thighs, the core engaged, and then softening the shoulders, finding the breath. 10 breaths here. And this is where if you have a pillow or a blanket or a bolster, you can slide it under your torso for some additional support, making this a little more restorative. And then slowly lifting up as you're ready. So we're gonna move into a pigeon pose now. I don't often teach pigeon in this way. And if it's too much on your body, I'm gonna cue how to do it on your back. And those of you who practice with me know this variation. But if you wanna take a pigeon pose in the way that you are right now, I want you to slowly heel toe your right foot towards the left hand, and then allow the right knee to fall out to the right side. So the more parallel your right shin is to the front of the mat, the deeper the hip stretch is going to be. If the right foot is more at an angle, the right shin is more at an angle, it'll be a little less intense. It's really, 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 really important here to focus on keeping the feet engaged. So my right foot is staying flexed, my left toes are pushing into the mat, my thighs are engaged, slightly rotating inwards, and I feel the navel drawing in towards the spine, so the core is engaged. If you are able to keep this engagement, if this feels okay in your body, if this does not feel painful, you can slowly walk the hands out in front of you. You can lower onto the forearms or onto a bolster. We're gonna spend some time here. If that's not happening, I invite you to come onto your back and bring your right ankle to the left knee. Feel the low back ground down, and this might be enough, taking pigeon reclined on the back, or you might pick up the left foot and bring the hands to the shin or the thigh. So find your pigeon, and also if you have a bolster and you're taking that first variation or a pillow, you can rest your torso on that. We're gonna hang out in this pigeon for a good bit. So taking any little adjustments that you need. And then let yourself settle in as you breathe. Dropping into that faith here. What is it that you're hoping to receive? What is your why? Why did you arrive? And continuing to show up, opening up, holding space. Devotion, dedication, and faith, trusting that it will arrive with hard work over a long time. This is the practice. This moment, this very moment is all of it. How are you meeting yourself here? Are you willing and are you ready? Inhale. And exhale. For my friends who are on your back, find your way to a tabletop or down dog. If you're in a pigeon on your shins right now, I invite you to slowly lift the torso up, ground down through the palms. You can curl the back toes under and straighten the right leg straight back up towards the sky. Maybe open up the hip. That might not be so fluid right now, so you can slowly contort your way out of that pigeon. And let's have everyone meet at a tabletop position. So taking your time to get there, no rush to arrive. It's gonna take as long as it takes. Feel your hands push down into the mat. Inhale, drop your belly, shoulder blades draw towards one another, gaze towards the sky. And exhale, point your toes, arch your spine, gaze in towards your navel. Inhale, bring it back to neutral. And then staying in this tabletop position or transitioning to your downward facing dog. Big breath in. Big breath out. And then step the left foot behind you. Drag the left toes along the midline and bring the left foot between the hands. And lower onto the right knee. Uncurl your back toes so the right foot is pushing onto the mat, the right pinky toes rooting into the earth, left foot is grounded, feet engage, thighs engage, core engage. Slowly lift your torso up. You can bring your hands to the top of the left thigh. Feel that navel drawing in towards the spine, the shoulders soften down the back. Breathe in and breathe out. 4 breaths here. As you're ready, you can slowly bring your hands to frame the left leg. Ground down through the right palm and reach your left arm up towards the sky. You can deepen the bend in the left knee. Feet, thighs, core remain engaged. The left hand can reach towards the sky or it can come to the top of the left thigh. Sometimes I feel a little bit of a better twist when I have my hand on my leg. But sometimes I like that opening of the chest. Bring your gaze wherever it needs to be to best support you here and breathe. And then when you're ready, drop your gaze back to the earth and the hands frame the left leg. So working towards our lizard pose first, heel toe the left foot out to the left side. Hands come inside of the left leg. Feel the palms push down onto the mat, the feet root down into the earth, thighs rotate inwards, core engaged. Have any props, blankets, supports nearby, you can stay here. You can slowly walk your hands out in front of you. You can lower down onto the forearms or a bolster. And breathe, honoring the differences of the two sides. 10 big breaths here. And slowly coming up as you're ready. And then whatever variation of pigeon you took on the last side, I want you to do the same on this side. So if you took reclined pigeon on the right side, please take reclined pigeon on the left. If you took pigeon on the shins before, start to heel toe the left foot towards the right hand. My left shin just went way in. So find that angle, the amount of intensity that's right for you here, really focusing on keeping that left foot engaged, the feet engaged, the thighs slightly rotating inwards, navel runs towards the spine as this belly button engaged. So you might stay upright, you might slowly lower down. And breathe. Slowly coming out of your pigeon pose and meeting at a tabletop, whatever way is right for you. Ooh, my body is feeling that. Taking a down dog if you'd like, any movements that you need before finding your way to table. And then if you have a pillow or a blanket or a bolster nearby, draw it close to you. And then widen your knees and send your sits bones back, coming to your child's pose. If you have one of these additional supports, whether it be a blanket, a pillow, whatever, I invite you to move it in between the legs and bow forward. Let it lift you up here. And take 10 big breaths in this child's pose. Let everything start to settle. And then gently move that support out of the way. And return to that child's pose. Feel the sits bones get really heavy. And then gently walk both hands over to the right side. Keep the left side of the body rooting down on the earth so you really feel that stretch along the left side body. And breathe. Inhale, bring it back through to center, and then walk the hands all the way over to the left side. Keep the right sits bones rooting on the mat so you feel that stretch along the right side. And then breathe. Inhale, bring it back through to center. And exhale, let it out. Now slowly walk your hands in towards your knees, lift your torso up, and then move your legs out to the side. And bring the soles of the feet to the earth in front of you. Grabbing any additional supports, keeping them close nearby. And then slowly lower all the way onto your back as slow as you can go. There's no rush to arrive. And when the whole body is resting on the earth, take a few moments, perhaps windshield wiper the knees from side to side. This can help release some tension in the low back. Maybe curl the knees in towards the chest, wiggle it around again. And then take any final movements that your body wants. Maybe take a happy baby. Any last wiggles, please honor them. And then find your way to a comfortable resting pose. So a couple of options. If the low back is tight, keep the soles of the feet on the earth, knees pointing upright. If you want to focus on releasing some tension in the outer hips, you can heel toe the feet out to the side and let the knees fall inward towards one another. This feels always pretty intense and pretty nice for me. If you want to focus on opening up the hips a little more, you can take the inverse, so bring the soles of the feet together, let the knees fall out to the side. You can straighten the legs out in front of you, and if you have the legs straight out in front of you and you have a prop nearby, it can feel really nice to bring a bolster under where your calves are and lower down. And also, if you like legs up the wall, if your low back is feeling tight, it's a great one as well. And wherever you find yourself, allow the arms to rest alongside the body. Allow the body to become heavy here. And allow yourself to arrive. This too is a part of the practice. So showing up for this time and space of rest with full attention and full faith. Allow yourself to arrive, to surrender, and to soak it in. If you notice your mind is having a hard time softening here, you can focus on counting each inhale and each exhale. For example, inhale 1. Exhale 1. Inhale 2. Exhale 2. Inhale 3. Exhale 3. Working your way up to 10. And each time you notice your attention drift away, simply begin again at 1. If anything starts to pull your awareness away, acknowledge it as a part of this moment. And return to the sensation of the earth lifting you up. And the breath, the life force moving through the body. Show up when the sun is shining. Show up when the sky is crying. Show up when the wind blows. Show up when you don't know which direction to go. Show up and be kind. Show up and you shall arrive. Inhale and exhale. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. And I invite you to remain still if stillness is serving you here. I also invite you to invite some movement in if that feels right for you. You may remain resting exactly where you are. And you may slowly find your way to a comfortable seat if that feels right for you. Taking your time to arrive one breath at a time. And wherever you find yourself, allow the palms to rest upwards on the knees in a sign of receiving. Soaking in the benefits of showing up of your practice today. Inhale and exhale. And as you observe this space within yourself, take a mental imprint of it. Feel it as clearly as you can. Picture it and embody it in the body and in the mind. And know that this is why. This space within you is who you truly are. And with practice, for a long time, without a break, with full attention and full faith, we can carry this connection, this space within us as we move through all things. Inhale and exhale. Offer yourself a moment of gratitude for arriving today. And with each and every breath, may you continue to show up all the same. Let's take one more breath together to close. In through the nose and out through your mouth. And you can slowly open your eyes as you return to this space. Thank you all so much for showing up and practicing with me today. I deeply appreciate each of you, and it means so much and helps me so much, and I hope it holds the same space for you. We will be back next week. The sign up for, I think, the rest of the month should be live and at the same link you've been using. If you're on the Connect stream, just hit the live tab and you'll be able to sign up for our next session there. As always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. And I'm really looking forward to showing up again with you guys next week. Thanks so much. Leanne, thank you so much for being here. I hope you're well. Alyssa, thanks for typing in. Preston, Ingrid, Bree, Hope you guys are doing well. I know we had a few more people log on, so if you haven't said hey yet, say hey. I'd love to just hear how you're doing, and I hope to see you guys next week. Oh, Alyssa, thank you. Thank you, Preston. Oh, I needed it too, so I'm glad it was what you needed as well. Beth, thank you so much. I'm glad you could make it. Bree, so stoked you're here, and you too, Ingrid. I love that it says grid processor. That's great. I'm gonna go ahead and log us off for today, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Ah, yay, Emma, Kelly, and Meredith. I'm so happy you're here. I was wondering if y'all could make it. I'm so glad. I love you guys. All right, I'm gonna log us off, and I'll see you guys